Hey, horror fans! Once again, it's the Horror Miser Monty G. I'm here to do a recap of last night's episode of The Purge. Once again, I will warn you that this recap will contain spoilers of last night's episode, so if you have not seen last night's episode of The Purge, please pause, go watch that episode, and then come back and watch this recap video, okay? Alright, you've been warned. Here we go! So, a lot of things happened in last night's episode. We'll probably go each of the main storylines because, like I said, we have the three main storylines. The one that obviously interests me most is the couple, Rick and Jenna. And now they're, of course, we were introduced last week to Lila Stanton. Their lover, if you want to call it, for both lovers. After a heavy makeout scene, both Jenna decides to break off the reunion sort of months, and eventually tells Jenna that she's pregnant. He says, "I'm pregnant," and she finally decides to relent. And Jenna tells her, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, But they tell her that she misses her. You can tell that there's still feelings there, but whatever broke the couple up, obviously something terrible must have happened. I'm pretty sure as the series progresses, we'll probably find out what happened between the three of them." So, well, finally they get to meet Mr. Stanton, and first it's just Rick. He's just there, and they're starting to negotiating. Now, Mr. Stanton finds out that the majority of their shares is both 50-50, and Mr. Stanton says, "Well, I need Jenna to come here, because that's where I am. I need the both major stakeholders in the company." So after Jenna comes in, and after some small talk and some nice negotiation between him, Rick, and Jenna, he decides to go on ahead and take advantage of their deal. Now, it's kind of funny, some of the stuff that he says here in his small talk. Says, first of all, I always help the poor once a year on April 15th. Then he says, just kidding. Then he says, "You know what, for once, I'll help the poor out." So he finally decides to go on ahead and give them the money that they need to start up the low housing development that they want to have to help the people out. Unfortunately, there's a catch. They open up the doors, and there's some guy tied up. He's gagged, he's bound. Mr. Stanton pulls out the gun and tells him, "Go ahead. I'm pretty sure you want to purge about something. What is this? Oh, tell me they're going to have to purge? Oh, boy." Now, obviously, both Rick and Jenna, they're dumbfounded and really don't know what to do. Jenna says, "No, we don't do this." Rick takes the gun. He really doesn't want to, but he doesn't want to piss off Mr. Stanton. I mean, this guy's going to make their dreams come true. But they finally decide, we appreciate the help, but we don't do this. So Mr. Stanton says, "You know what? I'm not going to pull politics on this." And this calmly shoots the guy right in front of them. Apparently, this guy, Stanton said this guy had robbed them blind. He was siphoning money off. And normally he said he would just go ahead and sue them, but this one particular night he doesn't have to worry about paying the courts. And this kindly just shoots him like he was nothing. Oh boy. This really upsets Jenna to the point where she says, "There's no way in the world that I'm not going to take his money. We're not going to do that." Rick says, "But we can do some good." But they finally decide to relent and says, "We're not going to take his money." And I think that's going to be some type of resentment here, because they do have to join the NFFA if they want to be part of Mr. Stanton's world. And I know that they don't want to sign the deal with the devil, but I think Rick deep down might want to not pay attention to Jenna. Plus, also throughout the evening, there was a nice shot between Jenna and Leela. As the whatchamacallit was opened up before she got called in, you can see the two of them looking lovely at their eyes. If they wanted to, if they could play the slow motion and have them running up to each other and hugging. There's still tension there, and obviously they still care about each other. I wonder what caused, he makes you wonder what caused this couple to break up. Now, like I said before, we eventually will find out what caused them to break up. Now, let's go with Jane, the executive, and the rest of the people that are in this financial company led by David Riker. That's the guy's name. But yeah, and so it finally comes down. They finally get the deal closed, and everyone starts to celebrate. Allison is really hubby-dubby over Mark. It's like she can't stop rubbing against him. Also, there's a problem with the app that Jane has to track down the assassin she had to do the purge on David. it's not working. She can't know what's going on. What makes it even worse, during the celebration, David interrupts the phone call, and he's not mad, and he's a little upset the fact that he did not get a phone call from Jane. But that's okay. He's fine. Then he gets interrupted. There's somebody at the door. He walks to the door. Jane is all nervous. She's shaking her boots. And he comes back up. It's just a pizza guy. I thought that was funny. So David comes back. He tells them to go on ahead and do their celebration. Everyone's celebrating. All of a sudden, we don't see Allison and Mark anymore. Oh yeah, by the way, backtrack a little bit. Mark comes to Jane and tells her that he's really appreciated what she's done. She's like a mentor to him, and if he feels as though that Allison should get the position of VP, then more than likely too, he's willing to wait until it's his time to go. And Jane says that's very good. Good old Mark. Later on, like I said, Allison and Mark, they're gone. Like I said, Allison has like really been lovey-dovey all over Mark. I guess he wanted to make out. So they leave the protected area, and Jane starts to search for them, and eventually she actually finds them. And Allison has killed Mark. Oh no, poor Mark. And she has the gall to tell them, "Did you tell HR about my promotion, or do I do it on my own?" Oh my God, she killed him just so she can get the position. And worse than that, she did it for nothing because he didn't want it. Poor Jane is just like, she's had the shock of her life and is like, oh my God, what have I done? What have been going on? You know, it amazes me how in this particular world, how people, even with morals, who really don't participate in the purge, still have the gall to do something just to get ahead. Anybody is capable of doing anything in this particular world. It just, even the kindest, gentlest person might be willing to purge just so they can get ahead. And that's what Allison showed. I mean, she laid the groundwork on it last night, so I'm not really surprised what she did. I just liked how it was all set up. So you got to give the writers and the actors credit for how that scene was all set up. Meanwhile, we got our favorite cults on the blue bus there. All the people are still nervous after what happened to Melissa in the last episode. So the good leader, Travis, that's her name, tries to get Penelope to speak out, to regain their faith and their spirit. And she makes a nice speech, and they are right back into where they were. Meanwhile, Miguel is still trying to find the blue bus. It takes him a while before he can negotiate with Pete the cop. Somehow Pete the cop finds out that Miguel won a nice car, and he's willing to go ahead and trade, and he has cameras all throughout the city. He finds the bus, and Miguel is on his way to track down that bus to get his sister. We get the flashbacks of Miguel and Penelope. I can't lose my train of thought. Yeah, we get flashbacks of them in this episode right here. Not not real big flashbacks, but enough to advance their storyline as we see their parents before they were alive and how they used to build forts in the house. We also come to find out that their parents were also part of the first purge. Now, in the beginning part of the episode, they were USA actually had little snippets about, or fun facts, saying, if I remember correctly, that this takes place between the Purge and the Purge Anarchy, and it takes place 10 years after the first Purge. And we come to find out that their parents were also part of the first Purge. They were in Staten Island. So it's nice to see that they actually are integrating the movies into this TV show. They're the ones that decided to go on ahead and take the $5,000. They don't have to participate if they want to. If not, they can stay inside. And their family, of course, take the money because they need it. Unfortunately, little do they know, it's all a ruse, because we know in the first Purge, the new founding fathers sent a SWAT team dressed up as white supremacists or Nazis, whatever you want to call them, to go ahead and kill the low-income families, because that's basically what they wanted. And unfortunately, during the flashbacks, we see their parents get killed. We see the father get killed. We see the mother get killed. And unfortunately, she gets killed right in front of her daughter. And then you can see why she gets down after that. Very heartening scene right there to see that happen to both Miguel and Penelope. So, good leader Travis finally gets Penelope. It's her term. She says it's her term. She gets off the bus, and we see a bunch of people dressed in nun outfits, of all things, with blood coming down their mouths. You got like a whole bunch of weapons, chains, whips, arrows, guns, all over. You think, oh man, Penelope's going to get it worse than the first two they got purged. But they don't kill her. She gets off the bus. They actually put a bag over her and take her on to the little minivan that they have for this RV. And they said, we got our quota for the night. And they drive off. Unfortunately, at the same time, we have Miguel. He actually stops in front of the RV. That's because earlier in the show, he gets helped by these two freelance reporters. They eventually were saying that we're trying to document what's happening here, so mainly the Purge will end. It's Purge election year. We also find out what OMF means. It means Original Martyr Family, meaning that he is the first family that were sacrificed. And one of the reporters, he's from England, tells him, he wants to interview him, but Miguel doesn't want to have no part of it, saying that, other countries don't want to do this, but a guy tells him and said, Europe's been doing the Purge for so long, it's just that, it's just not legalized. So again, back to Miguel. He actually stops in front of the nuns on the whatchamacallit looking for the bus. And how ironic is that scene, knowing that we, the audience, know that his sister's in that van. But unfortunately, he's looking for the bus, not a van. So he eventually catches up with the bus and leader Travis. And he tells them that her sister is gone and that she's gone. Now, we know she's not dead. I wonder what fate is up for Penelope. Obviously, she's not going to get killed. Well, maybe not yet anyway. But it's just fascinating that she wanted to go to the invisible. But she's not going there yet. Oh, poor Penelope. I hope something good happens between these two characters because they've had enough trauma in their lives. It really does a good job to see both the characters, how well these two characters are portrayed. Really nice to see these actors portray these two characters. I really care about them. I hope nothing bad happens to them. And let's not forget our dude in the mask that we saw introduced last episode. He's riding along in his truck, still listening to that Purge propaganda tape or that motivational tape. He goes into a house and just literally kills two Purgers attacking his woman, and he rescues her and puts her in the van that he's driving around. We still don't know what role he's going to play, but obviously he's going to play something. We don't know what his motivations are. All we know is that he's still looking for that woman that we saw on the GPS. We don't know what he wants to do. Is he trying to purge her, or is he trying to rescue her? That remains the big mystery of so far in this show. Another fun fact I found out last night, William Baldwin, who plays David Ryrick, oh boy, I messed up his name, Riker, David Riker, that's what he's credited as, but when I was looking up IDBM, it has him credited as Donald Riker. Get it? Donald Riker? Interesting. Wonder if they didn't want to have any trouble with his brothers impersonations of you-know-who. Just a thought. So overall, this was a pretty good episode. So far, I'm really liking the series. I like how they're doing it. They're not forcing the violence so far. We did see some more violence throughout Purge Night. As Miguel was searching for her sister, we saw some dude just shooting at some guy because he's saying next time, leave a tip. He literally shot some dude. We see some people hanging up all over the place. Other people just randomly doing a whole bunch of crazy shit because it is the Purge. So I like how they do it. And I like how they're pacing the show so far. We're not overdoing us with violence so far. And I like all the characters. And we still have some mysteries to solve. And they're setting up the story nice. I'm certainly interested to see what caused the breakup between Lila and Jenna. More interested to seeing what's going to happen with Jane. Is she going to be able to kill David, or does David have something else in mind? He might decide to purge himself. We never know. And I like this where the show is going, and I'm pretty interested to see what's going to happen next week. So, my horror fans, what do you think about last night's episode? Did you enjoy it? Did you think this is going good so far with 3 episodes in? We only got 7 more episodes left, so leave your comments down in your comment section below and tell me what you thought about last night's episode of The Purge. Well, that's my video for today. I hope you did enjoy it, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up because it does help the channel out a lot. And once again, this is your first time here, please hit that subscriber button, ring that notification bell, that way you can come and enjoy the horror experience with me, the Horror Miser Monty G. And as always, all my social media links will be down in the description box below as well. Once again, my name is Lamont Smith, better known as the Horror Miser Monty G, and always remember, horror rules. I'll see you tomorrow with my recap of American Horror Story Apocalypse. Peace, I'm out.
1, 2, let's come for